Thanks for joining us today. I'm Gabe Garish, owner of Backwoods Pursuit, and today I'm going to go over a problem I had, a really simple project that turned into a really difficult and frustrating project because of a very simple mistake that I made on this. I was putting the scope on. This is the new Zeiss LRP S3, awesome new scope, got it mounted, done a lot of scope reviews, put on a lot of scopes, so that no big deal there. I went to mess with the turrets here, took the windage and elevation turret off here, just to kind of re-index them, get them ready to the range. I always like to make sure that those are ready to go. So pulled this off, took the screw here that's provided by Zeiss and pulled off the screw there, and the windage limiter here, which is a different feature in this LRP scope, and then the windage cap right there, and then messed with it, put it back on here, and then went and re-tightened it with the included Zeiss the tool here. Tighten that down, messed with a couple more times off and on with the turret, just kind of playing with it. And so went ahead and torqued it like I normally would with the Zeiss tool here, or at least I thought. And came out here to the garage and was working on it, went to pull the elevation turret off, grabbed my tool right here, the Wheeler tool, went to pull it off, and the Torx head just snapped off in the tip of the screw. And of course it snapped off flush. It was impossible to mess with. Couldn't get it out with the magnet, couldn't tap it out, turn it upside down and whatnot. So just a nightmare to try to get that out. And that's hardened steel, so it's really hard to deal with. I tried a regular drill bit, it didn't do anything. Went and picked up a titanium drill bit to try to drill out the portion of the tip that went into the screw head. That wasn't making any progress. So went back to the hardware store again, got the speed out tool to extract the screw, and so that was the next step here. The cutter on here wasn't really touching that hardened steel either, just making a little bit of a headway, but not a lot. So I grabbed a masonry drill bit and got to work on that, and that actually did work and was able to get enough carved out of that to then go back to the speed out tool and stick that reverse drill bit in there, and it backed out the screw well enough and got that pulled off. So I was able to get that out, because obviously you have to be able to re-index your windage turret once you zero the rifle. You just need to be able to take that off. But it was stuck on there, all because I slightly over torqued it. And the other issue is I used the included Zeiss tool, which is a harder tool than the Wheeler tip. So I torqued it and tightened it with the harder tool, and then went to the softer one, went to unscrew it, and it snapped right off. So user error is my fault, and I slightly over torqued it, obviously. So don't do that. Lesson learned: do not over torque your windage turrets, and don't switch tools. If you torque with one tool, use the same one to take it back off so you don't have that problem. So it turned into a couple-day project that should have been less than 30 seconds to pull that turret off and re-index it. So huge pain in the butt, but was able to get it figured out after a bunch of elbow grease and a couple trips to the hardware store. So hopefully that's helpful. Just a reminder, do not over torque on these scopes or anything else that you're working with. That can be something that causes extra damage or extra work. In this case, I had to replace that screw, of course, and I nicked up the turret here just a little bit, just cosmetic damage, but I'll replace both of those so it's good as new again here, and we'll be back in business. So hopefully that's helpful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.